to a playthrough of Signalis on survival difficulty on classic inventory, no damage, segmented. Gonna head to the front of the ship to get the photo. I would like to mention that this video would not have happened if it weren't for Carcinogen's guide on this game. And honestly, his video is probably a lot better than this. Gonna examine this photo for the puzzle key. 13589. Wait for the fluid to lower so we get the key, the broken airlock key. Just fair warning, I tend to read a lot of text documents throughout this game. Just read them again. Carcinogen does not do that, but I do that. Apparently I want to read this one twice. Gonna combine the duct tape with the broken airlock key to unlock this suit. Forgot for a second that this is not a cutscene. Even though it looks like a cutscene, it's not. You don't have to examine any of this stuff, I'm just looking at it. What you do need to examine, however, is the book, The King in Yellow. The safe will become significant later if you're going for the secret ending. There's the King in Yellow. Picked up the King in Yellow. There's no turning back now. Take the receptionist key from the counter and use it on the door to the right. That's not the right way. It's up, and to the right. I make a lot of mistakes with navigation, especially in these early parts of the game. I'm gonna take the protector key from that seat over there and use it to get our first weapon. Give me a moment as I eventually found my way to the room. I'm not gonna use that aperture viewer just yet. I'm really lost, apparently. Yes, go down there. Yes, yes, go down there, the corridor. It's in there. Gun is in the middle drawer with the aperture guard. And there's a little guide. Also, I'm gonna read this apparently. You cannot use whatever term that was in their language. Here's the first enemy encounter, but we're gonna run straight past her. The code for the safe is 204512. Gonna run straight by this Oila, as called. That's not the right way. I can't believe I forgot that again. Must have just been trying to get past the Oila. So that enemy is called an Oila. It's German for owl. And yeah, we're seeing a lot of those for the rest of this game. 204512. Enter. And there's our ticket out of this first section. Let's jump right into this hole. I go up to the left. And into this elevator to get the key, the service hatch key. The elevator will take us out of this section once we can get the key for it. These Oilas will eventually wake up, but you won't have to worry about them. Not in this run, because I don't believe we ever come back to this room after this. The goal of this puzzle is to line up the notches in the key with the keyhole. And to get to the opposite way at time. Very close. trial and error. One more. 2 more. So yeah, there we go. Ah, we got it. Took me a while, but I got it. Here, I'm gonna go into this room on the left. Pick up the east wing key. Use Memo, and Sun Process will be very helpful. Not gonna solve that safe quite yet, but we'll get there. That door unlocks from the other side. And here is where we're gonna make the first save. Gonna put away everything until you get Sunprod, handgun, and of course the east wing key. We'll just sneak around this Orla. There's an Orla in here as well, but they're not gonna pay any attention to us. Orlas have great eyesight, and they also have, oh, yeah, there it is, Orla. There she is, Orla. Replica, Orla. They have great eyesight, unlike most enemies, and also pretty good hearing. But they do not deal a whole lot of damage. So if you do get hit by one, when they swing at you, it won't hurt all that much. Unfortunately, this game has impact damage as well as you know, whenever an enemy hits you. So be mindful of that. Orla will approach us. Oh, I didn't like that situation, so I backed out of it. And now I'm really in deep shit. Get out of there. We're gonna wait here for about 10 seconds. Or not. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Wait here for 10 seconds. When you wait outside of a room, any room, for 10 seconds, it will reset the position of enemies. I get the broken key from this bathroom. Run directly to the left, unlock the door really quickly. There's an Orla right here. We're gonna run past this one and shove this one. I think I used shove once or twice again in other parts of this game. These can be really helpful to just get an enemy off you. You do it by pressing the attack button when an enemy is near. The trigger button, I should say. Gonna get the other part of the key from that room, with the Orla just staring at herself. There's another right there. Oh, wait a bit. I didn't want to trigger that Orla immediately. We're gonna gun her down because she's not in a good spot for us. Just run, I mean, all the way up there. I did not need to use that many handgun bullets, but she got really close to me, so I got nervous. Whenever you focus shot, as in whenever you let the square circle in on the enemy to a smaller square, it does more damage. And also, I believe it does more damage when you're firing at enemies that don't know you're there. As that Orla only took 2 hits. So we're in this room for something later. I realized that I did not have the radio yet. So I didn't have to go in there quite yet, but I did. Because I forgot. I also forgot here. I don't have the radio, so like, oh, no radio. Gotta go get the radio. Combine the 2 keys together. Get the butterfly key, put it in the butterfly chest. You won't see that door again that we just saw on that cutscene for a while. Here's, I believe, the first memory of the game. So now we have the radio. Gonna tune the radio to that frequency to solve this puzzle. Now this is the first key for the secret ending. We're gonna tune the radio to 9-6 and pick up the key of love by expanding interact right there. So just tune that frequency to that and press interact on that cage. We're gonna need 3 keys for the secret ending. Also, I totally forgot, and I'll clearly find out, that I forgot to get to the key. I forgot to get the key for the elevator. Don't make my mistake. here's where I realized that. So, on the safe, there is a tree, and if you look at that frequency page we just got from the other room, you want to tune your radio to the frequency of the tree and enter the code, which is 19742. Enter. To get the key for the elevator. Insert the card and go to the first floor. This is very important because this is the only time that we'll be able to go to this floor. Now we're going to take the elevator to any floor. I'll go look at the map for a second. Fabric Arbeiter Personal Protektoren. So we're going to take the elevator to any floor that's not 1 or 2. It does not matter, as you'll see why. We're gonna come in here to make the next save.
Gonna pick up the shotgun. And put away a lot of stuff. Pretty much everything else. That document is important for solving a puzzle involving a code and whatnot. Just accidentally trigger that Oila. No worries. Picked a lot of stun rods. Cannot carry anymore. The code for this is 1, 3, 6, 3, 1, 3, 6. One of the more confusing puzzles in this game. I personally really don't like it. They even, if you read the instructions to the right, they actually gave instructions on how to do it. Because it's not like a fun puzzle to do in my opinion, and they didn't seem to think so either. Let's actually accidentally go in there, or never mind. I went there for that reason. So whenever you use a stun prod, as you probably could tell there, it gives you iframes. So as long as you press the button to use it, even if you're about to get hit, you will still use it. Here's the water key. Man, they're really giving me a lot of stun prods. I didn't realize that, how much they give me in this section. No lure this oil up here, because I don't want her down there. We're gonna go into this library, or not really a library, this room. There's actually boxes, not books, to get the blank key. And go back up. Here we have one part of the socket wrench required to get the air key. I'm just gonna go ahead and put in some of the keys. This is the exit, by the way, for the section. There's a reoccurring theme with this game and having to collect a bunch of key items to put in a door in order to exit. So, yeah, we're gonna do that. So up here in this room, since we got the link key, we now can insert it into here and write its passage. Code is right, down, right, up, down, right, up. Print that pattern. There's a room where you can find the code for that in like an X-ray room where you can see a key with that pattern in a rock. A lot of the puzzles in this game are like that, where you have to find a solution Oh yeah, there's the other part of the socket in that room. We had to find a solution to a puzzle. We're just dodging on there. I mean, that's for that to happen. We had to find the solution for a puzzle in a different room. It can be quite confusing, the fact they do that. I'm pretty sure that Oila is inspired by Lisa from Silent Hill 1. Just due to the room that she's sitting in and her dialogue. This game really is like a mixture of a bunch of games together. Oh yeah, we here we need to tune our radio to the frequency on that frequency sheet, the frequency of sword. And then you have to use this sheet to figure it out. As you can see, there is one blocked out. That letter that's blocked out is F. So I'm just probably taking my time here just to remember it. Code is give me a moment. R F B R S R F B R S, enter. Yeah. To get the incinerator room key. There's also that picture taking module, but we're not going to get that for this run because it's not really needed. So in this room, quickly attack and stomp out that Oila. That other Oila should not attack us when we're doing that. It seems like they kind of give you a second to breathe whenever you use a stun prod, as you can see what that Oila was doing. And we're gonna sneak. Oh, also gotta wait 10 seconds on the outside. We'll sneak around and get the shotgun rounds. There's nothing over there. This game is like a mixture of a bunch of different mechanics from a bunch of different games, including stuff like Resident Evil, Silent Hill, Dino Crisis, Metal Gear Solid, definitely, with the stealth, and probably a few others that I'm forgetting. Oh yeah, Parasite Eve. Definitely Parasite Eve. So we're gonna take that completed socket wrench. Or not yet. Probably have to do this for inventory management. But we're gonna take that into the other room down that hallway to get the air key. there's gonna be a bunch of aura that pop out of here, but we're gonna ignore them and go straight into that room. Oh yeah, that's called an aura, that enemy. They are fairly slow, or fairly slow. They don't do a whole lot of damage. They also don't have much range, but they do pop out of the ground and they do deal impact damage if you hit by them, just like every other enemy in this game. So watch out for them. Aura means macaw in German. We're gonna put in the air key. And now we're gonna get the last two. I don't know why I went in here again. You don't have to go in here. Yep, nothing in there. We already got the thing. The socket wrench piece. In this room, we have an aura that will pop out in a second, as well as that one Oila. That Oila will sometimes be like right in front of the door, and I've never had it happen, but I feel like it could potentially make you take damage. So the code here is the first one is left 5 times. The gas is right 5 times, and the O2 is left 8 times. And now we can get the fire key. Only 1 key left. Thankfully that Oila was nowhere near me, so I could just keep running. There's nothing over there. I need to go in here for some reason. Oh yeah, this is like the room where it shows like the solution to the Earth Key puzzle. I don't know why I came in here. Just for funsies. Oh yeah, there it is. Ooh. No reason to be in here. I'm not sure why I took this route around. Actually, it probably was because of that Oila, and because I wanted to get this key already in there. So, after putting... Oh, you gotta look at Alina's diary first for doing the next step. Putting the video cassette in here and watching their memory. we're gonna insert the gold key. And this is the last room before a boss. So we're gonna have to gear up for that. I'm gonna take the handgun, 2 thermite flares, all the handgun ammo, as well as the shotgun. And I don't know if I take some shotgun rounds. Yeah, I take some. Yeah, I take all of them actually. And we have the handgun and the flare. And here we have the first boss of this game. So this is Mina, how are you gonna pronounce it? And she has a railgun, but you can avoid it by standing behind anything that's tall enough. One shot. Also, she spawns 2 auras. And we need to thermite them after we shoot them with a shotgun, because otherwise they're gonna get up. She'll summon them back up, but she can't do that if they're burned. So she trots around and tries to shoot us, but eventually, as you can see, she has to open her helmet for some reason. I don't understand why, but that's her weak spot when she does that. Don't get too close, by the way, because those weird squiggly lines on the ground will hurt you. I think they do. I think that they can hurt you. I almost got hit there. That was very close. I think I actually glitched the game a little bit by standing here too long. Something could have went wrong here. Also, you gotta get like all of the ammo in this room if you want it. Yeah, it is my because you won't be able to return here after she's dead. I'm not even focused shotting her, just mag dumping. It just takes too long. Sometimes you can't really get a proper position to shoot you, and she just kind of runs around and puts her helmet. I think my controller disconnected there for a second. This and the last stream take place on Rotfront, which will be important later in the game. The planet that most of the game takes place on is called Leng, or Lung. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. There's the observatory, but we need to go to the bibliothèque, or library. Don't do what I'm doing right now, for the most part, because I'm going to change up my inventory in the next segment. The reason why I'm taking these patches, and I forgot to mention this, but Adler, not Adler, I don't know why I said Adler, the Mina, actually yeah, Adler, yes, that's correct. Adler will, when he pushes you down the elevator shaft, if you don't have any damage taken, you will take some damage, as shown there. And just to make it always at a nominal, I use healing items. This is another case where I use healing items, and that'll come a bit later. And by a bit later, I mean by very soon. So this room has a lot of enemies in it, but we're just not gonna deal with them. We're just gonna walk around them. If you don't believe me about that Adler thing, the end screen for this game, where it shows all the stats of mine, will say 0 damage taken. I couldn't find another source about this, but anyways. Couldn't find another source about this, but I'm assuming that in one of the recent patches they must have added that, because I never took damage there, and I was kind of getting paranoid when I first saw that, but it's fine. We're gonna focus shot that unaware Oila, grab the handgun bullets, and exit the room. Wait 10 seconds, and then we're gonna go back in. Grab the fuse, and yeah. We're just gonna run right by this Oila. Now this one, we're gonna focus shot it. Or I can't tell if it's a star. I don't know. I think it might be a star, not an Oila. Some stars, I guess, don't have shields. So I don't know. I get confused between the two. Now here I just decided to do this room. So this is the other questionable instance. This is a rather bizarre enemy called Colibri, which means hummingbird in German. In order to kill them, we have to chase a signal. And I believe when they patched this game, they've changed the way to kill them. Because I think it used to be a lot easier. So, oh, and then wait for that to happen. So the Colibri sort of deal damage to you passively. What I mean by sort of is it doesn't. The game doesn't consider it damage, as you'll see from the end screen for this game. But if you let them, if you stay in the room with them too long, you will eventually take damage. And that's the reason why I keep using I use a lot of healing items this run, because I want it to keep it at blue, and this micro damage caused by Colibri will eventually add up and cause real damage, I guess. Code for this is 2, 4, 6, 7. Or was that? Yeah. 2, 4. Yeah, I was right. 2, 4, 6 done. And that will start up the Paternoster elevator system that's in this this part of the facility. I just realized I didn't talk about the stars. It's of course German for starling. I think we met one already. They can be quite difficult to take down when they have a shield like that one right there. Otherwise, they're not all that different from Oilas. But they can't hear or see as well. Maybe they can hear as well, but they definitely cannot see as well. This one is pretty annoying, but we're not going to take it out because there's ample room to run around it. Torch to that star right there, so it's never gonna get back up. I think that alarming of that Oila on the right will just happen pretty much all the time, so we kind of have to do it this way. I don't know if we take out this. No, we don't take her out quite yet. We're gonna get this shutter gate handle from, I believe it's Falquez quarters. Oh, and here I just look at this. This is like a guide for a puzzle. It's also just like as you can tell, it's a map of the solar system. And and apparently I want to take a screenshot of it. It's a very pretty map. I like that. Some world building right there. We're not gonna go in that room quite yet. The bottom right. This room's kind of dangerous, so we're gonna try to line up a shot to hit both of them. One weird quirk is that sometimes, as you can see there, the enemy that I wasn't even targeting, and that was also further away, got knocked down by my shotgun in one shot, compared to the enemy that did not, which was the closer one that I was aiming at. I don't know. I don't know how all the what the damage is counted up in this game. It's kind of weird. So here I'm waiting until I can get a clean shot of both of them, both of these stars. I think I'm gonna torch one of them, or maybe both. I can't remember. I was just about to do it, but changed my mind. Luckily, I got both of them down in one shot, which I was not expecting to happen. Yeah, I think I used it. Yeah, I used it on both. Use the thermite on both. Okay, we're gonna head into Adler's quarters to get shotgun rounds and also the flashlight module. You can't interact with things in the dark, so you really need a flashlight to allow you to do that. But it will alert enemies if you shine it at them. So be careful of that. I think I'm gonna go in the safe room right here with the crank I got earlier. And here's the colibri, or wait, no, not the colibri, the orla, the owl key. There's a document on the Orlas. Examine it again. Here's the Oila's room, their quarters. We're gonna get the broken cassette from it. flashlight to go in there. Now we're gonna get the island key. That room with the Colibri earlier is where we're going to use that. There's a poster from the... Now somehow I actually triggered that enemy, that Orla. And also that Orla right there. That Orla that's looking at a bookshelf, I think. It's very rarely triggered. I don't know why it triggered that time. Maybe I got a bit too close to her. We're gonna get the Hunter's Key, which is required for the Magnum, or the revolver, I should say. Yeah. That weapon. That's not the right way. I don't know why I went in there. Give me a moment. Here's the key. For the, I think that was the Calibra room. The painting is called The Isle of the Dead, and it is quite significant to this game. Actually, what was that? Maybe that wasn't the clear room key. Might be wrong about that. I don't know. I kind of forgot. I wasn't like looking at it. Oh yeah, it was the workshop key. We don't get the clear room key until a bit later. So right here, even though you can't see her, there is an Orla right there, and she kind of got stuck in right there. So let's stop her out. And spam the button to use the stun prod and walk to the bottom right. So we're going to grab the shotgun rounds first, reload the shotgun. This is really important for item management. Then you get the tape to fix the music cassette, and then get the weapon case, combine it with the key, Hunter's key, to get the revolver, and then we can pick up that 12mm ammo. As you can see, there's an aura that pops out here, but if you're quick enough, then you can get right past her. Now we're gonna head into this workshop right here. And put in that music cassette. So now when we tune our radio to the frequency 142, that was not a good position, we can get that song, and that's the key for a puzzle we're about to solve. Gonna ride the Paternoster elevator down twice. And go into Falke's quarters. There's the Huntingbird key for the Colibri quarters. The Colibri's quarters. I'm not getting the handgun ammo. Stun prods are a lot more valuable than handgun ammo because they instantly down an enemy, most enemies, I should say, and they give you iframes, as I mentioned earlier. I was originally not going to make a save at this time, but there's two rooms that are pretty difficult coming up. Well, one in particular that I didn't want to have to deal with it. Probably could have been fine though. This room is especially brutal. The fact that you try to use stun prod there just because I didn't like having to deal with that star. After focus shotting that first Oila, all three of them will come down in a line, and sometimes you're able to shoot all of them at once with the shotgun. I think originally I was planning on doing that, but I did not. In that hole in the ground you can find an aura if you want to go talk to her. I did not. I don't think I did in this run, but you know. So here we have the painting of Saturn devouring his son, and in the bookshelf in front of it we need to tune our radio to 65 mega or kilohertz, and then pick up, I think that was the key of eternity. That Orla got up, but I did not pay any attention to her. So here we have another room for the Colibri. chase the signal. There are 2 rooms in particular later on that are very difficult with the Calibri. Most of which are not that hard, though. As long as you can chase the signal well. I really could have just discarded that handgun ammo and come back for the stun prod, but this is not a speed run, so I didn't do that. 0512. Now I'm just heading back down to get that Adler key and then solve the last puzzle of this section. Enemies can't hit you when you're going through for the library first. I do this first. Enemies can't hit you when you're going through door frames. So the radio sends them a feedback loop that will eventually kill them. So here we have to get the king in yellow by moving this cursor around. believe there's multiple solutions to this puzzle. You just have to line up the planets. Give me a second. I think I forgot exactly what it was. I was pretty close the first time, I think. There we go. Just way to brute force my way in there. And there's the key for the elevator right next to this room, which will get us to the mines. Monofilament wire. We're gonna see it for the first time in this section. Or rather, next section, really. You have to use the flashlight to really see it. So that's important. Right here, I think I'm looking for the hidden Nitro Express. I almost find it. I don't think I actually find it until the next section. It's behind that wall I just walked past. Here's the flare gun. I don't think I use it too much during this run, except for in the final boss fight. I'm grabbing that repair spray just to prepare for the next Colibri room later down the line. And there's the Nitro Express ammo I was talking about behind that wall. We don't have the rifle yet, but we will. And there's not a whole lot of Nitro Express ammo in this game because the rifle is quite powerful. And I really could have used it more, but I did not. I think I only used it in like one room in this entire game. I find that this type of elevator is quite common in survival horror games. Like I think it was in Resident Evil a few times, and it's in Metal Gear Solid, which this game obviously takes some inspiration from. So right here, I'm just gonna walk around this edge of the wall, so don't trigger those enemies in the room. Here we have monofilament wire, so don't touch it or it will damage you a lot. You know, I really wonder what that star's name is. She didn't even pay attention to us. She just wanted to tell the Orla. A bit rude, but of her, just ignore us. Here I'm just carefully sneaking around these 4 enemies in the room. So, when you activate the button, it will automatically alert all the enemies in this room. There's 2 stars and there's a Mina. And we're gonna slowly walk around this hatch, because if you run around the hatch, the stars will catch up with you quicker. As you can see, they run when you're further away from them, but when you're closer to them, they just walk. Kind of like the enemies in Resident Evil 4 and 5. There's nothing over here except for, I guess there's that one healing spray. But we're gonna jump down the hole. to the south and end up in nowhere. You have a limited time in this memory. Later in the game you'll be able to go back here and read all these files that you didn't get to read. So you'll have another chance. I think this memory is based on that painting that's repeated in this game a few times. I don't know what it's called. I need to look it up. And here we have the King of Yellow. Or the King in Yellow, I should say. Which if you press interact, then you can try to reach out for it. But very symbolically, it is just out of reach. You cannot get it. And now we're in nowhere. If you know Silent Hill 1, this is very obviously inspired by that game. Specifically the final portion of that game, being that it also was called Nowhere. This area is shaped in a way that could not exist in real life. So don't try to make sense of it. It doesn't make any sense. There's no map either to this section, as it really couldn't be. That Orla next to that door will get in our way, as you can see. that device is for figuring out the keys, the codes for the doors in this game, or in this section. So the kanji there reads Nue, which is the name of this boss. Or I guess in English that'd be like Chimera, I think I've heard people call it. This boss is not that difficult. Just gotta keep running around with it. You can sometimes stun it with your handgun, or really any weapon, especially like more heavy weapons. But it will eventually gain hyper armor and stop being stunned and then charge at you. I think I missed a lot of the shots here. I can't get enough time to shoot at it. But as you can see, Issa in the corner is rebuilding Adler's gun, Adler's rifle. So eventually she'll be done and fire a shot at it, which will end the fight. But the more we shoot at it, the quicker that will go. I think she's almost done. And that's about the end of this section. That ammo just spawned the last time I reloaded. Whenever you reload in this game, if the game doesn't think you have enough resources, it will give you some more. And in that case, I had no handgun ammo. So right here, I'm just gonna sneak around this Oila and Stork. This Stork, by the way, just like the one we saw earlier in the game. I realized that I did not have the flashlight module, so I was not going to go in there quite yet. Storks don't have great eyesight or hearing, but they do a ton of damage. So don't get hit by one. And of course, stork is stork means stork in German. Almost got hit by that stork there. Now we're gonna wait 10 seconds and then thermite that Oila. Because that Oila is in a terrible position for us. I don't know why I went out there. Now I'm getting a flashlight module for the monofilament wire room over here. In that room, yes, that room. This room doesn't have any enemies, but the next monofilament wire room that we go into will. About to get one of the rings. I think this was, and then or where's the old key? I can't remember. I wasn't looking. And the plate of flesh. So in order to exit this this area, you have to get 6 plates and put them into a door. Kind of like that other time, where we had to get 6 keys and put them into a door. Yeah, there was the rusted key, that's what it was. I think I forgot when I was doing this run what the rusted key was for, and then I remembered a bit later on. So the code for this is yeah, that 1, 2, 6, 7, 8. So here, we're not going to turn on our flashlight until we get right up to this ring, and then turn it on, and then get out of there. Here we're going to carefully get this doll piece, and then run out of there. I got into a really bad position here, but I shoved that enemy to get it out of the way. And thankfully that Mina did not shoot me, because she could have, and that would have been very bad. There's the bottle required to wake up Issa. I think this room is referencing the room we saw with Falca's quarters. I think that note probably was from her. It probably is one of the most symbolic parts of the game, because I'm not even sure if this area even exists in the world of Signalis. So the code for here is, that was 1, 5, 6, 8, 9. So we're gonna get all the rings, because we're about to go solve the puzzle required for that. I was gonna shoot these Oilas, but they were in such a good position for me to run around them that I did not. So here we have the late Empress, and we're gonna put the Regency ring on the pointer finger, the wedding ring on their ring finger, and the serpent ring on our pinky finger, which will give us paint up the plate of knowledge. The Empress was the ruler of the Empire in this universe, for she died the day after her wedding, as that note says. She also was the one who created the replicas, I believe. So here I think I forget to get the rusted key, and I'll come back in a second for that. Yeah, I gotta just kill both these. You know, really, actually, I feel like I should have just used the shotgun, but then again, I'm about to use it again, because I think later in the run I'm short on stun prods and desperately need them. When an enemy gets up, it will have less health, so it's not like the what were they called? The code for this is, I've had to look it up, I'll tell you. What are they called? The Crimson Heads of Resident Evil 1 Remake, which when they get up, they're stronger than before. And honestly, that was one of the best mechanics they ever had in Resident Evil. And I don't think they ever brought it back, except for like one spin-off. But yeah, so that's why we use thermite on the enemies so they don't get back up. So it's a K. That's the code. That was 1, 3. I think that was 4, 5, 7, 9. So there's an R come out right here. There's a lot of R's in this room, and you can kind of see where they come out in the panels. But we're gonna kill almost all of them because we kind of have to. Now, there's also, I think, 2 Oilas in this room as well. There's one right there, right up here. We're gonna focus shot it. Be really careful of the monofilament wire because it's in some weird spots in this. I forgot what this aura that comes out behind you. Yeah, just gotta kill that one. There's a few more. There's one that comes out right next to that Oila. I'm trying to get it to come out. I think they're more likely to come out when you have your back turns towards them. I think that's why I'm doing this. But that was really lucky, because I got both of them in that one shot. And there's one more that we're gonna shoot. This one's gonna come out right here, right around here. Yeah. We're gonna get this plate of sacrifice really quickly because that aura pops out, as you can see there. But she won't be able to catch us because auras are not very fast. Oh, silly me, trying to look at a map for this section. There is simply no reason to. Now we're gonna wake up Issa with that bottle. It took me a while to realize that I was not clicking on Issa, and apparently you cannot just press use on the swan bottle to do it. You have to interact with her. So give me a moment. And also I think I also forgot the code for this. So give me a moment, please, because I'm about to look it up and tell it to you. The code is 125679, and that's how I interacted correctly with Issa. I'm gonna combine all of the wooden tall pieces all together to make one single wooden doll. And now she's gonna give us the rifle, which is, I believe, one of the most powerful weapons in the game, other than maybe the flare gun might do more damage. I know the signal flares do a lot. That's why I use them on the final boss, and also one enemy later on. The rifle also has a ton of damage, with not much, not too high a rate of fire. Where I accidentally angered that Oila before I'm able to grab that ammo. So I just go in here and get the plate of balance and put on the wooden doll with all pieces combined so that it can let us out of this section. And I'm gonna wait here so the Oila's reset position. Just forgot that was close. I think I'm gonna make another save here, I think. I was originally planning not to, but there is one room that is especially difficult that we're about to see. Honestly, I think it's probably the most difficult room in this entire game. And that's why we're going to use a stun prod and a flare gun for it, because otherwise it'd be very difficult to get through it.
So here I'm going to use the repair spray to prepare for the equilibrium. Because I don't want them to damage me. There's some ammo in the middle of this room, but I'm not going to get it because it's too hard to get it, as you can see. In this room, there's a stork on the left and Oila on the right. You need to very carefully aim that shot to hit the stork. So it can go down that one shot with the signal flare, and then immediately turn the radio to kill the debris. I barely did that fast enough so I wouldn't get damaged. That was by far the hardest room in the game. There's some incense and grenade shells in here. I don't think I ever used grenade shells, but they can be useful. They're not as good as the signal flares, though. I think this is one of the last notes from Alina. I'm not sure if it is the last one, but it's one of the last ones. And here's the exit. We saw that door in a flashback earlier in the game. And so now I'm gonna go get every single plate. Really didn't route this the best, but that was mostly due to the Calibri room that I was so afraid of. Offerings. Put the incense right here and get the last plate. Plate of love. Now we're gonna get every single plate, all 6, and put them to the door. It makes sense if it was on the left, but no, it's up top because this area does not make any sense. And then we get to watch the ending.
Now you may be wondering, why was that the end? And if you were wondering that, as I was when I first played this game, you'd be absolutely right. You'll notice this doesn't require you to select the profile after that screen. Elster doesn't look very alive. The screen looks glitchy. Doesn't give you a save menu. The lights are on. Elster's wearing a beret. That's not right. This is clearly the start of the game, but at the same time it's not. That door is unlocked. It tells us we have to check about all the systems in this ship. Penrose 512. Do not eat replicas. May look and taste like ordinary flesh. Oxen may look like blood. But don't eat it. You can't digest it. Penrose 512. Ariana Yeon. Active. Elster 512. Active. Remember to obey regulations all the time. I did not open up that letter. I don't think anything changes if you do. You can open it if you want. I think it talks more about Elster. I don't believe those rooms with the locks are ever openable. It's such a pretty room. Colibri. Colibri. I totally forgot that was even in this game. Must be a joke from the developers. Ariana likes to paint, as you can see. Yeah, I forgot to check the cryogenic hibernation pod. Hopefully we never have to use this Make nudge nudge. Of course, this what looks like we're damaged. I'm not actually damaged. Doesn't count. I don't know, do we remember the promise? Do we? And here's the final part of the game. Once again, we're back here. And this time, I think you have unlimited time to read everything if you want to. These are poems written by Ariana, by the way, if that wasn't already obvious. Great holes secretly are digged where Earth's pores ought to suffice. And things have learnt to walk that ought to crawl. If that last note wasn't obvious on what the promise is, I don't know what is.
Something has changed. I don't know, this looks like the school from before, but doesn't look right. There's big masses of flesh everywhere. Once again, I try to go into that door. Oh me. Chalkboard says we have been here before. I don't know. Once again, the same code. 204512. Enter. To get the key to get out of here. Now I'm gonna put away, got everything. I'm gonna get some guns before, but now I'm gonna make a save. Gonna take the revolver for this room out right up here. Run straight past those two enemies. Kind of difficult to do that, but it works. No enemies in that last room. Here we have two enemies, two Orlas, I think. A focus shot. They both went down. Two focus shots from the revolver. Now this next room is fairly difficult. The map geometry can really mess you up. Now we're not going to enter that room immediately because you cannot. Once you unlock it, it gives you a bit of a window where you cannot. And so you have to make another way around. Now we're going to drop down another hole. And now we're in Rotfront. I have become whole again. I wear no mask. And I hate everything. Yeah, we need a few thermites. Oh, I don't think you use all of them. And 3 stun prods. You know, I probably should use something else besides the stun prods. I don't know. Because there's one other room in this area that I think I was short like by 1 stun prod.
but stun prods are by far the most useful weapon in this game. So then I'm gonna stun them all out, and then use Thermite on the Star and the first Oila. There's a Calibri on that poster. I think I realized that I forgot the flashlight module. Because we need that. The reason why lighting works so well in this game is because it's not actually 2D. It's 3D, completely 3D. It's just done at an angle and in a style that looks like it's 2D. So we're gonna walk all the way to that part right there with the developing tank and turn the lights just to get the developing tank. And I don't think we're ever gonna come back in this room. Careful that star there. So here we're gonna focus shot that stork and then shoot the Oila. They're both gonna go down with one shot. But also some handgun ammo. Yeah, I don't need to very much right now. I picked it up. There's the hand wheel. I accidentally angered that star, and I have to wait 10 seconds because of that. We don't actually have to go into room 512. That's like the room you need to go into to solve the puzzle in order to exit this section. But since we already know the combination, I don't need that. I came in here because I forgot what was in here, and then I realized right away that those two auras pop out, and I didn't want to be in there. I don't think I'm taking anything. Yeah, I'm just taking the hand wheel, and that's it. You can bypass a lot in this section if you already know the codes. And if they hadn't restricted if they hadn't restricted the puzzle to exit the section with a key item that will only spawn once you get all of the cards that we're gonna get, then you could have just not even played this section if you knew the code. But they knew. They didn't want people to do that. So you still have to gather every card in order to finish the section. So here we're going to get one of the cards, one of the tarot cards, and hey, look at that! It's the Isle of the Dead again, and the lovers on the Isle of the Dead. Once again, very symbolic of like Elster and Ariana's relationship, and the involvement of that painting. Remember the promise. So normally we would need both diskettes to solve this puzzle, but because we already know, we actually don't need to use both of them, because we already know that the station that we're at is 43. This by far I think is probably my favorite puzzle in this whole game. So we're gonna say 43, and the final is gonna be Magpie. Do do do. Give me a moment, I think I'm looking up the code because I forgot it. In order to figure out this code, you have to look at a variety of people that served in the People's Army, and one of which is probably the Gestalt that eventually became Elster. But the game never explicitly tells you who it is. I think it's Lilith Ito, which is, I believe, one of the sisters of Issa and Erica. That's just what I think, but it's never explicitly said. Let's see, the code is 5605224. That's right. Messed up the first time. And here we're gonna get the final key for the secret ending. You tune it to 240, I think. 240, and then interact with that bookshelf right there to get the key of sacrifice. So love, eternity, and sacrifice. Erica is probably already long dead, and Issa was never able to find her. She succumbed to the same infection that all the other Gestalts here in this facility. Well, actually, this is Rotfront. The other place was S23 Sierpinski. Here, this file talks about bioresonance. So all the Gestalts died to that infection caused by Ariana's bioresonance abilities. We're not gonna go out that door to the bottom, we're gonna go out the same way we came in, because, as you can see from the map, if we went out that door, we would have all those enemies in our face. We don't want to do that, so we're gonna do it that way. We're gonna go in here and make a save. I think. There's 2 rooms coming up that are very difficult. I don't know, maybe I guess I probably shouldn't have done a save here. I really didn't need to, but I did. So I'm gonna take every stun prod that I have, because I'm gonna use them all in 2 of these rooms coming up. As you can see, that room to the bottom right is now consumed with flesh, and that's a recurring thing with all of these rooms, that whenever they have a card in them, when you take the card, they are consumed with flesh. Once you leave, that is. There's a tower card in this cafeteria area. And here we have a room with a lot of enemies. 1 star, 2 Orlas. I'm just mashing the button to use the stun prods while I'm adjusting my frequency. Another stun prod right there. There's a weird black dot on the save screens that you can see there on that window. And sometimes you can see it when you enter this room. It didn't happen this time, but it's just one weird little, I guess you could say, secret in this game. So here I'm going to take the revolver, and I'm going to take all the ammo until I have left 12 shots for the... Actually, I'm trying to think about it, I don't even use the revolver for the final boss. I really could have taken everything. We don't need that key right there because we're not going to go into room 0512. So we're just going to stay here, adjust the frequency to kill these Calibri, and definitely do not trigger that Oila to the right, because that would not be good. That's the last Calibri room we have to deal with in this entire game. The Calibri were probably the most problematic enemy in this whole game. There I accidentally shot the shield of that star, which I don't even think could happen when they're just idle like that. This was quite a tense battle, as you can see. You actually don't need to get the thermite. I'm not gonna thermite really any enemies that we have to at this point. Bioresonance. Duplicating a Gestalt's brain onto a replica using their neural pattern. It talks about in here. Bioresonance. So you look at the butterflies here, you kind of can see the word Aeon, one letter on each butterfly, and that is exactly what the code for this lock is. Aeon is also the name. I just skipped A there. Aeon is also the name of, I think, one of the companies that makes electronics, as their name is repeated a lot in this game. There's the moon card. I'm just gonna use the right. I really don't need it. We're not gonna come to this room after this, I don't think. And I was kind of hoping there'd be some handgun ammo in there, or any ammo, but there's not. We don't need that that floppy disk because we've already solved the puzzle relating to that. There's an R in that room every turn bay. It pops out. So this is the magpie box. In order to do that, we're gonna tune the frequency of 125 after solving that puzzle we did earlier and playing that that station to get the magpie key. By the way, Elster in German means magpie, so yeah. You don't need to come in here other than just to have that aura reset in her vent underneath the floor. Some Nitro Express ammo spawned. Now we're gonna put away just about everything except for the store key, because we need that. We're just looking through. Oh yeah, because I also need the building tank. Forgot about that. I was thinking about getting a gun, but I don't think I'd take a gun, because I really don't need one. Oh, I've got a prayer patch. Don't need that, but you know, whatever. I'll put that in there. Most enemies in this game you can really easily get by, but if you want to get the promised ending, which I believe is the final ending to this game, you want to kill basically every enemy.
Promise ending is also, in my opinion, the happiest ending. But in this run I get the memory ending, which is like the second ending, I think, in the ending timeline. So that doesn't make sense to you. There's a bunch of different Elster units, as was kind of alluded in one of the cutscenes earlier. I really just thought the game a lot. And every ending is canon. They just all happen at different times. The entire game is like a loop. There's Lilith and Alina, as well as a list of other people in that division. I still don't fully understand the connection between Alina Seo and Ariana Seong. Even Ariana acknowledges the fact that she looks like Alina, but she doesn't understand why. So we're sneaked by that stork. Put in this photograph to get the last card, tarot card. Here's a document that's talking about Ariana and the fact that she's a bioresonant. The Empire did not know that. If they did, they probably would have definitely not sent her on the mission they sent her on the Penrose mission to find a planet that's habitable. There's the ring we need to go into that door. Go to the final section of the game. Or final boss fight, I should say. Go away that card, we don't need it. And I don't think I take anything else, and then make a save. And now we can enter the final few rooms before the final boss. Here we have to move these dials to the right positions. As you can see here, and you gotta insert the dial ring for that one, for the rot front. Yeah, just like that. Here we have some deja vu. The King in Yellow. Now we finally are able to go to that door at the beginning of the game. And we can see that the red light that was there was from the TV screen. Ariana's aunt is saying to her to leave some space in her school bag. And for us, that means that we have to leave some space in our inventory because the final boss requires it. Here's the resume of Ariana. She applied for the Penrose program, and she eventually got it. She worked at her family's photo store, and also did some military service, and was also a radio operations officer. Or did some training for that, I should say. She also mentions in some of her writing of Ito's family's bookstore, which, yeah. And if Ariana did not finish or accept that offer for the Penrose program, then she would have been assigned to S-23 Sierpinski facility, like what we went through earlier in the game. So she was pretty fucked either way. Ariana was she enlisted after Alina and Lilith were in service. That probably was, I guess, around the time when Elster was being created. That's why she was assigned an Elster unit. I was originally going to use the revolver for this fight, and then I changed my mind. I changed my mind to the rifle, and then I changed my mind again to the submachine gun. But I do use the flare gun because it's really the best weapon to use on Falca, especially the signal flares. Because one focused shot can I think down her in like every phase, or almost every phase. Now I'm gonna make a save. Leave forever. I don't think I show all these documents. They're talking about the disease and stuff like that. So I think 2 of them are from Adler, and then 2 are from Falca. Actually, I think I do show all of them, I guess. Yeah, I do show all of them. Falca's quarters. But it's become whole again. So I'm gonna run counterclockwise around her whenever I can. Sometimes I forget to. But generally it's better because the spear is in her right hand. So running counterclockwise is better. Avoiding it. Using the spear. As a general rule, we have to keep moving. Because she attacks quite quickly. Though she can't attack immediately after doing an action. Here this is quite good because of an aura that she summons runs into her, they automatically die. So that was quite great. There, I just narrowly dodged that.
better shot. When the spears are glowing like that, they kind of give an AoE. That was actually really great how that worked out like that. You know, I think I might have been able to pick up more spears than I ended up doing. That was not good. Just checking my inventory. This probably is the hardest phase in my opinion. It's got a lot of stuff in the way. There's like 4 auras that spawn. So a lot. You're gonna almost take damage. When you get into the corners of the screen goes glitchy like that. That makes it hard to see. Really just edgy, let's say. Last aura. He does it. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing here. I was just waiting for her to summon some spears. Now I have another one. Yeah, so that's what I was doing. That's why I wasn't firing at her. This is the final phase. The spear comes back, like after she throws it, as you can see, and it also does damage. So it has a pretty long hitbox. Also, when she raises the spears, if you haven't grabbed one, she'll raise them after a while, and when she does that, it also does damage. I wish it didn't, but it does. So just keep it for that, and we're gonna end the fight. It looked damaged, but we didn't actually take any damage. There's a lot of notes from Ariana in this last section of the game. Gives a lot of lore about her. Except that you will not never find a suitable planet for landing. Well, that was not true because she's clearly on a planet. Well, we know that Elster couldn't keep her promise. So the other one, the other option, to take an immediate or eternal rest in the cryogenic pod is what she chose. That kind of sounds like a Geiger counter. She was at the Ito bookstore, and she found the King in Yellow there, but the protectors confiscated it before she could buy it. Her condition is worsening. And in this ending, she's lost her memories as well from, I believe, all the time she spent in the cryogenic pod. I couldn't keep our promise. That's the original Elster unit that Ariana spent time with. That's the end of Signalis. I believe in the order of the endings. I'm not really sure where the secret ending lies in the order, but I believe the main three endings go in the order of leave, memory, and then promise. If you notice, the Elster unit we took the armor off of was in the same position that our Elster just died in. So it's very likely that that Elster we just used was the one that the other Elster that got the promise ending used to take off the armor and then eventually find Ariana to complete the promise. Which, if that wasn't already obvious already, the promise is to kill her. As she could not bear suffering any longer. It's a really sad but beautiful story. In a moment, I'm going to show, once this is over, this sequence is over, I'm going to show the secret ending, the artifact, also known as the Lily ending. It's by far the most cryptic of all the endings. I really don't understand it completely, like at all. So, yeah. I don't think the Empire expected Ariana to find the planet. I think it was just a suicide mission, as there clearly were instructions saying what would happen if you never found one after 3,000 cycles. Made in Hamburg. Only 2 people primarily developed this game. Pretty incredible. With the exceptions being most of the sound and most translations are not done by them. And of course publication was not done by them. But everything else was done by them. I don't know if they're going to release another update for this game. It's been a while. They did release one update. I think about maybe a year ago or 10 months ago. Yeah, I don't know if they're gonna put it again. The can yellow, as you can see there, is a real book. I believe it's like similar to that of H.P. Lovecraft. It wasn't written by him; it was written by someone else. It just said it showed his name there on screen. But yeah. I guess if you want to go read it, that could be helpful for understanding this game. I've really lost my mind trying to understand this game. It's a little mess. So whenever I reloaded the game, either counts as like a death or a right there. as reloaded. But overall damage taken, 0. So that's what that matters. That's what matters. Just to prove that this was a no damage run. And now I'm gonna show the Lily ending, also known as the artifact ending. I almost forgot to get the keys. Key of Love, the Key of Sacrifice, and the Key of Eternity. Which are, I guess are like the 3 main themes of this ending. So we're gonna do the same thing as we did before. I guess I never explained how you have to figure out the secret ending. So when tuning a radio to certain frequencies at certain parts of the game, you get like an SSTV signal. And what that means, if you don't know, is like a code, an audio code, that when you use with an SSTV decoder, will produce an image. And that image will be a screenshot of somewhere in the game that you defined. And here I inspect everything again. It gives you a different dialogue than when you first inspected it for most of the stuff. But don't touch the King in Yellow, because we're not gonna get that. Yeah, like you talked about Ariana. This stuff is like Ariana stuff, because she used to like these books and she had that radio transmitter. I think here I got a little bit stuck. I forgot how to get out of this. Trying to back up. Don't pick that up. Yeah, so I guess in this universe, the famous paintings that were made by real life people are made by her. The national flag, it is meaningless. There's a radiator. Can't go back to that hole. And here's the safe from the beginning of the game. And we're going to use all the keys to unlock this. It's kind of like those, I forgot what it's called, but it's like 3 circles combined together that aren't like connected. But when they're together, they can't be broken apart. It's like kind of what the lock was making with those 3 locks. I think here I look up the code because I forgot it. It's like really long. It's same code that plays, I think, in like 1 or 2 cutscenes where it says Aktang and then a code of numbers. That's like the code for the safe. So yeah, big like ARG in order to figure out the secret ending. Definitely a step above the ritual ending from Silent Hill 2, which I think this ending is inspired by. Really, all these endings are probably inspired by Silent Hill 2, because that game also had a bunch of endings that were dictated on a point system. This game also has a point system like that game, and it's like it measures you based on like how many enemies you defeat, how much time you take in the game, how many door checks you do, like if you try to go in a door you can't open, as well as how much damage you take and how much time you spend on memories. In order to get the memory ending, you have to go really fast. Don't spend a whole lot of time on memories, don't take up a lot of damage, and don't like kill a lot of enemies. Get the leave ending. Oh, okay. The code is 3, 9, 4, 8, 6, 6, 0, 1, 7, 0, 2, 4, 3, 2, 6, 0, 1, 0, 6, 4, enter. But yeah, it's like a point system based on for this ending. And you can pay the white lilies, and we can watch the secret ending. Well, clearly we did not remember the promise, because it looked like we were doing some kind of ritual to prolong her life. At least that's what I think. But yeah, it's very cryptic. This ending is kind of selfish. I kind of mean a lot. Like, you don't even fulfill the promise. So you have to sacrifice multiple characters in order to do this, it seems, as they look pretty dead in that ritual. Just so you can have, I guess, more time to dance with Ariana. I think it's the only ending where Elster in some form lives. But it looked like Elster died at the same time, so I don't know what the Elster that was dancing with Ariana is. I don't know, there's a lot I don't understand about this ending. So the long and the short, I guess if you couldn't already tell, the narrative of this plot is that Ariana is bioresonant. And when she was dying, she, because she wanted someone, or really Elster, to kill her, she sent out a signal to all the Elsters, and they all are coming to try and kill her, but I don't remember their promise. It also infected and printed every Gestalt in Replica with her, with Ariana. And for the Gestalts, they all, as you can see with what happened to Issa, they all just die. But the Replicas become zombies. Or zombie-like creatures. So, ultimately, The promise ending, where you actually do fulfill a promise, is, in my opinion, the happiest, because even though it is super sad, in some ways, the fact that you had to kill her, it ultimately is the right thing to do in this situation. Thank you for watching. This was a big project to make, and I'm glad that I finally was able to finish it. And potentially I could do a no save, no damage of this game, but that would be a lot harder. So I'm not sure if I want to do that, but I could do it. I might do a Silent Hill 2 no damage run as well, because I absolutely love that game. And I was gonna do that game, but I chose this one instead, because it's one of my favorites. Artifact ending. Might be a while before I make another video, so yeah, that's it. You may go now. You may leave. Goodbye.